Um, I don't remember the score, but I think it was around about 150, and we passed them 3 or 4 down. There weren't too many highlights from that perspective, but ultimately,
they got there anyway.
Yeah, they got there, and their season's back on track as well. They're 2-2. The 6-11, they actually played on the park for the first time this season, even though they're they've had their 4th game and they're 2-2. But that was well done by the guys. Ben Zilberstein came out of semi-retirement to lead the guys, and took a couple of wickets, and we passed them easily with Mark Hawthorne top scoring with 55. And in the final game, in the one-day grade, another good win by the boys. We rolled them for 150 odd, and that was led by Adam Coyne again, who's a superstar for the Sevens at the moment. He took 3 for 39, and with the bat, we had a couple of guys play who weren't available for both weeks. That include Matt Merrifield, who made 53 not out. Chris Fulco made 53 not out. Just a couple of guys chiming in with scores in the teens. So again, 7-zip.
Where are they sitting on the ladder? Sevens?
Well, they're 3-1 the one-day grade, and Nick Kane is leading the charge as captain. He's sacrificing his own game to make sure that he can take advantage of the quality blokes that he gets in his team. So well done to Nick. So that's our senior grades at the moment, and just also at our 14s and 12s, they're developing and learning to play the cricket. But the under 16s in particular, they've got a great lineup, and they're undefeated at the moment. They would have been undefeated. Should I say, round 4 was unfortunately a washout for them in week 2. But for anyone, whether you're A&A or someone else, come and watch our under 16s because they're doing a great job early.
Where are they playing this round?
I don't know. So, can't answer that. I hope it's at home, but
it'll be on the website.
Yeah, it's on the website, bentleigh.com. So that's Bentleigh A&A at this stage. What we'll move now is Longmere Shield. Round 4, definitely we would have thought that there would have been a few washouts. There was one in particular which raised a few eyebrows, but ultimately...
Where was that game played at?
That was
that at Mackie?
I believe that was at Mackie. Mackie versus East Sandy at Mackie's ground.
They've just had a new turf laid, and surely there's Aggies and irrigation.
Oh well, I mean, like, I think I don't know, but it seemed like probably a premature decision for both captains to call it off. East Sandy had made 230, and Mackie historically have done quite well against East Sandy over the last few years.
I'm sure they would have wanted to get out there.
Well, you would have thought whether 230 was maybe... Yeah, well, exactly. But Damien Cotterfield decided to call it quits probably only, I don't know, within half an hour of starting time.
All I can say, if King George, if you could get King George's pitch up and running, surely 90% of the other pitches in the competition would have been playable, so very surprising.
Yeah, so Kimmy Pitt, who has always complained about people wanting to pull out early when it comes to washouts and stuff like that. I'm surprised that they decided to pull stumps early. But anyway, that's that. And the other results, as we spoke before, we beat West Bentleigh. Brighton Union defeated Hampton Central, which leaves last year's runners-up 0-4. Brighton Union had a day out with the bat last round, so as we've said all season throughout this show, that Brighton Union's batting lineup is one of the strongest in the competition.
And it seems like the bowlers, the kids that they've brought through, are actually doing the job as well. So.
JWC,
yeah,
he's doing all right with the ball.
Cold figure.
Yes, LePage Park got their first win on the board against Carnegie South, so that was a very important game for both teams, and LePage Park came up with the win.
So who's sitting? Carnegie South haven't won the game yet, have they?
I don't think so.
So they'd be on the bottom at the moment.
That's right. I mean, they've been very close in a couple of games, but unfortunately, I would say that wedding, which resulted in Glenn Gallagher and Scott Hanley being unavailable in a game that was probably winnable.
Against Mackie.
Yeah, well, I think they were in a position, but unfortunately they aren't. So they're 0-4. Elwood again, 4-zip. defeated Amiga, and Elwood weren't defending the greatest of scores. It was only about 215 or something like that.
Yeah, they still got them though, but
Yeah.
I just think that that inclusion of Gamlin's just solidified their bowling attack, because really they were always reliant on Marshall. But now they got Gamlin in there, and
It's a lot more balanced. Isn't
yeah,
it?
and I think they got a couple of kids, 17-year-olds as well, who bowl pretty good as well. So they've got a very good list, good list. So yeah, they deserve to be 4 and 0.
Yeah, and the other result was Bentleigh United defeating Washington Park quite easily, passing them 2 wickets down.
You look at Bentleigh United's bowling attack; they've still got 3 genuine bowlers, haven't they, that can bowl you out. So
Yeah.
they're going to. I still think they'll probably win more than they lose coming or finishing off from here.
And whether Bentleigh United were probably a little bit premature in where they were at as a club by putting Peter Menakis as captain of the seconds, who knows, because they brought him back up to play Longmuir Shield, and I would say that that's contributed greatly to them beating a more fancied team. So that's round 4, and as we know, Elwood's on top on 24 points. I think there's East Sandy's on 15.
Mackie.
I think someone's on 18. Yeah, Mackie and East Sandy.
I reckon
probably.
Mackie would be second. They haven't lost, so yeah. Then East Sandy third, and
then there's
Brighton
about 5 or
Union
6.
top, yeah.
There's about 5 or 6 teams on 12 points. Actually, I think Brighton Union's on 18.
yeah, they're 3 and 1. Yeah,
So they're on 18. There's East Sandy on 15, and then the rest of the pack's on 12, who are still a chance. And thankfully, after our win against West Bentleigh, we're one of those teams. So we're still in the hunt.
Yes.
Okay, so moving on to round 4, A&A versus Amiga.
Yeah, well, Amiga's very similar position as us, because we've obviously we're playing a lot of kids in our Longmuir team, and obviously Amiga reverted to this probably 2 years ago, so they're a little ahead of most other clubs in regards to playing the kids, or those sort of late teenagers. But should be interesting. We've got a couple of guys out, but we've got the depth that creates a chance for Dave Marsh, who's probably the informed bat of all our Shield. So
deserves his promotion.
Of course he does. So yeah, it should be an interesting game. Looks like it's going to be wet and miserable again on Saturday. So the toss may have a bearing on it early on, but yeah, looking forward to it.
And Brighton Union versus Carnegie South. Well, we would expect Brighton Union to win that game quite easily.
Unless there's a mystery wedding at Brighton Union and half the team.
Well,
Ivan Delac might have
retribution
got
for Carnegie
shabbed up
South.
on a Friday night and proposed to someone, who knows. But yeah, it should be easy, or one way go.
And I guess when you're talking about potential, whitewashes or whatever you want, I've lost the plot anyway. Anyway, LePage Park play East Sandy, and you've got a very much more fancy team in East Sandingham playing LePage Park. That was what I was trying to say. Again, any comments on that?
Look, it'll be interesting. I think a couple of guys have put their hand up for LePage. A guy made 90 on last week, so it'll be interesting to see how they go against a better bowling attack. So, yeah.
Elwood play Bentleigh United.
That'll be good. This will be a good game, because again, United's got a very good bowling attack. So, and again, Elwood, their top 3-4 bats are very good and made a lot of runs this year. So, yeah, it will be.
And again, it just really does come down as to whether they can get those top 3 or 4 batsmen out cheaply. I think Amiga were very close to succeeding in that, but they couldn't get Nathan Harris out, and Nathan Harris basically steered the ship to put Elwood in a total that was defendable and ultimately winnable. Mackie play West Bentleigh, so that'll be an interesting game.
Yeah, I assume if West Bentleigh we played them at their home, so they might have 2 in a row, but
it's at Mackie.
It definitely is Mackie.
Yeah, it's at Mackie.
I know last year West Bentleigh